Hello, this is the new Mega Construx Halo Arctic Jackrabbit Assault set. This features basically just a recolored Jackrabbit, but I think it actually looks pretty respectable in this color scheme. It's not just a plain white, it's a little bit off-white and does have a little bit of the Arctic camo marbling in it. The Jackrabbit itself has two exclusive prints with the UNSC logo in one color on just one side, and then the black stripe going through, I guess it's the nose fairing there. But they did not do any changes to the overall design to allow you to easily separate the front wheels to get you into that static pose. So this is basically just always in the driving kind of pose. I really wish they had come up with an easy way to allow you to just separate those out, because most of the time in game you see it just in the static position. This does have a couple of clips on the side, and you can use those to attach weapons if you want. Obviously, the set is for the most part based on Halo Wars 2, but the Spartans are not. You know, this isn't the most realistic thing to do, but I always prefer having clips to not having them, so you can actually place your figure weapons somewhere rather than having to store them elsewhere. You can move the gun, you know, it's a gun rabbit, so you can move this up and down, but it's not really able to rotate around. You can kind of make a turn a bit. Actually, that's not it. Like that, you know, it's kind of tilting more to the side than it is really rotating. So that's not entirely legit, I would say, but you do have the ability to kind of bring it down, angle it up, and the entire kind of roll cage comes forward. I really like the windscreen piece that they put onto this that actually can be flipped up. Not as much as I thought. It's intended to really flip in the way it's attached, but that could be definitely easily used for some custom builds to interesting effect. This actually has a really nice build to the main chassis. It uses a lot of specialized or non-standard sort of plate pieces in very interesting ways, and a relatively minimum number of unique specialized pieces for the structure of it. This one long strut piece is repeated 3 times, used for the fronts as well as the back. You don't really use that clear piece on the base there. That's just holding things together. So they chose clear for that just so that it wouldn't stand out very much, but it's not actually touching the ground, so it doesn't have any effect. And of course, a figure can just hold on to the yokes there in the front. The 2 Spartan figures are in the same color scheme with not just a plain blue, it's actually a speckled blue. Has some lighter colored speckles and some darker colored speckles in as well, just to give it just a little bit of something to break up the color. But for the most part, it's a fairly consistent bright blue. The hues match pretty well between the armor pieces and the lower or end arm and leg pieces, which are actually molded in different types of plastics. It's a female body on the left for the Hermes Spartan, and on the right is a Centurion. Get a newer style battle rifle and a Magnum, and both of those are in the medium to medium dark gunmetal gray. The banished brutes here have their weapons rendered in a slightly marbled dark silver color, which is the same basic color used also for the lower legs and the shoulder armor pieces. These are not identical other than the weapons, the gravity hammer on the left and the classic spiker on the right, but you can see that the shoulder armor pad pieces are actually different between the two. That's a nice, small, subtle amount of variation. You know, otherwise you would consider these to be, just exactly the same, or at least at the same rank. But yeah, I think these are set up pretty well, and it's just the perfect color scheme. If you're going to do any color scheme for the Banished, I think this is it right here. I like that really bright silver that they use for the paint application on the helmet and also the body armor for these, and it really stands out from the medium silver, or actually dark silver, that's used for the other armor pieces. And we've got the darker skin tone as well, which just matches up very nicely. It's an interesting muddy color that they chose for that, and yeah, I think these are good. Don't forget about the grunt though. I personally probably would have preferred the older style of grunt, in-universe older style, but they do have this style of headgear and such in Halo Wars 2 as well, so it is correct and appropriate for this set. And these super articulated grunts are really good. I mean, it's just difficult to deny that they've done a really nice job with the skeleton for these, and then they also do a very accurate job with the add-on pieces, all the armor pieces in any option that they create. Interestingly, all of the figures in this set came pre-assembled except for giving them their weapons, so that helps out a lot, and I feel brings some extra value, especially with the grunts that have actually a lot of pieces. So here's what the box looked like before I opened it. And I feel like this is just really good presentation though, that they should use more frequently, highlighting the figures, letting you see the actual figures right there. I feel like that'll just draw a lot of eyeballs towards the things that a lot of people like, the figures. I mean, they put so much work into these figures. Go ahead and show them off. It just costs a bit more to get them assembled at the factory in advance. But that's it for my review. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope I showed you everything you wanted to see. And I'll be talking to you again soon because my next video is on the way.